A very good morning to my dear students. Hope you all are safe and secure. Stay home, stay safe. Welcome to today's English class. In the previous class, we have completed our reading A and B of 7th unit. Today, let us discuss and analyze the C reading Mahatma Gandhi pushed out of train. About the author, Richard Brayley. Born on 25th August 1925, was educated at the University of Michigan. As an American writer, he is best known for screenplays of biopics. He won the Academy Award for the Best Original Screenplay at the 1982 Oscars for Gandhi. Brayley also won the Academy Award for the Best Original Screenplay and the Golden Globe Award for the Best Screenplay Motion Picture. So, this play was written by Richard Brayley, an American writer. The play is about a young Indian, Gandhi. First class coach, South African Railways, interior night. So, this play happens in a first class coach when he traveled to South Africa. Featuring the young Indian, it is the young Gandhi. So, coming to the features, he is the young Indian, Gandhi. A full head of hair, a somewhat sensuous face, only the eyes help us to identify him. So, how is Gandhi looking here? What are the features of Gandhi here? A full head of hair, a somewhat sensuous, meaning of sensuous, giving pleasure to senses. Only the eyes help us to identify him. So, looking at the eyes, we can identify that he is a young Indian or young Indian Gandhi. He is lost in his book and there is a slight smile on his face as though what he reads intrigues and surprises him. So, he lost in his book. That means he is completely looking into the book. He is not at all bothered what outside it is, what was going on outside. And he reads intrigues, meaning of intrigues, draw interest. In his face itself, we can see the interest and surprises him. And that means he is he is surprised looking into the book. He grins suddenly and some inside, then looks out of the window, viewing the idea. So, meaning of grin. Smile widely. Meaning of inside, ability to understand. So, he slowly smiles widely and shows some ability, that is something is happening. He is seeing outside and he looks outside the window. As he does, a European pushes the compartment and stops dead on seeing an Indian face in the first class section. The porter glances at the European nervously. Meaning of glances. A quick look. Meaning of porter. A person employed to carry luggage and other loads, especially in a railway station, airport, hotel or market. So, Gandhi was not aware of what was happening around. Gandhi pivots to the porter, holding his place in the book, missing the European, who has moved down the corridor altogether. We saw the cover of the book, The Kingdom of God is Within You, by Leo Tolstoy. So here, Gandhi was reading a book. He was reading a book written by Leo Tolstoy. Gandhi pivots. Meaning of pivots, turn or balance. So, Gandhi turns or balance to the porter, holding his place in the book. Gandhi. So, now the conversation goes between the Gandhi and the porter. Gandhi says, "Tell me, do you think about hell?" So, Gandhi questions the porter that, "Do you think about hell?" Porter, stares at him blankly. Hell. So Gandhi questions him, do you think about the hell? Hell, no, hell or heaven will be asking, So Gandhi questions the porter that, do you think about the hell? So porter doesn't understand anything and simply stares, means he stands and looks at him blankly. Hell, he questions again, hell. Gandhi, the eternal, earnest sophomore. No, neither do I. But he points abruptly to the book. But this man is a Christian, as he has written. Here meaning of sophomore, a student in the second year of the course. Meaning of abruptly, suddenly. Meaning porter. Excuse me, Bass, but how long have you been in South Africa? So porter questions Gandhi. Excuse me, Bass. Here meaning of Bass means South African term for boss. B-O-S-S, South African term of boss. He questions Mahatma Gandhi that, how long have you been in this South Africa? Gandhi, he was puzzled. He couldn't understand the question and gave the answer, a week. Porter, well, I don't know how you got a ticket for. So porter questions Gandhi that, how did you get this train ticket? He looks up suddenly, then turns back quickly to his work. So suddenly he looks up suddenly and turns. Who is he here? Porter looks suddenly and he quickly starts doing his work. Gandhi glances at the door to see what has frightened him so. So Gandhi was looking outside. He took a look at the door to see why he was frightened so. The European and the conductor push open the door and stride in. Meaning of stride, walk. So the European and the conductor both pushed and opened the door and walked into the first compartment. It means that a European found Gandhi in the first class compartment. So black people have no right to travel in a first class compartment, even though they have a first class ticket. Keeping this in the view, the European went to the conductor and reported the matter to him. So why both the European and the conductor both pushed open the door and walked into the compartment. Conductor, here, coolie, just what are you doing in this car? Gandhi is incredulous that he is being addressed in such a manner. Here, meaning of incredulous, unbelieving. So here, the European and the conductor came to the compartment that Gandhi was traveling in, isn't it? So the conductor addressed Gandhi and said, a coolie, and asked why he was traveling in the first class compartment. Gandhi, why? I have a ticket, a first class ticket. So Gandhi gave the reply that I have a first class ticket. I had a first class ticket. Conductor, how did you get hold of it? So the conductor questions that, how did you get the first class ticket? Gandhi, I sent for it in the post. I am an attorney. I didn't have time to. Here meaning of attorney, lawyer. So he says that, he also said that. Who is he here? Gandhi also said that he was an lawyer and as such sent for the ticket in post. The ticket was sent to him by post. The conductor began very angry. He has taken out the ticket, but there is a bit of bluster in his attitude and it is cut off by a cold rebuff from the European. Meaning of bluster, protest. Meaning of rebuff, rejection. So the conductor became angry and the European cut off the ticket angrily. So who cut off the ticket here? The European. Who was angry here? The conductor was angry and the European took the ticket and he cut off very angrily. European. There are no colored attorneys in South Africa. Go and sit where you belong. So here he says that there are no colored. Here meaning of colored means black colored. So there are no black colored attorneys in South Africa. So you go and sit where you belong. He gestures to the back of the train. Gandhi is nonplussed and beginning to feel a little less sure of himself. The porter, wanting to avoid trouble, reaches for Gandhi's suitcase. Here meaning of gesture. Move hands or head to show what one wants. Meaning of nonplussed, puzzled. So here Gandhi was puzzled and he was trying to explain, tell to him. Meanwhile, the porter, to avoid this trouble, he reaches near the Gandhi's suitcase. Porter, I'll take your luggage back. So porter says that, so I will take your, who is your here? Gandhi. He says to Gandhi that I am going to take your luggage back. Gandhi, no, just a moment, please. So Gandhi says that, just a moment, please. He reaches into his waistcoat and produces a card which he presents to the conductor. So what did Gandhi do here? The Gandhi took out the card from his waistcoat and showed it to the conductor. Gandhi, you see, Mohandas K. Gandhi, attorney at law. I am going to Pretoria to conduct a case for an Indian trading firm. So Gandhi shows his card and says this, look at here, it's written on the card that Mohandas K. Gandhi, attorney at law. So I am a lawyer. I am going to Pretoria to conduct a case for an Indian firm. So he clearly explains that this card had his details, his name and profession. He told the conductor that he was called to the bar in London and enrolled in High Court of Chancery, and therefore there could not be any doubt that he was an attorney. European, didn't you hear me? There are no colored attorneys in South Africa. So meanwhile, European shouts and tells to Gandhi that, didn't you hear me? There are no black attorneys in South Africa. Gandhi is still puzzled by his belligerence, but is beginning to react to it, this time with a touch of irony. Meaning of belligerence, violent behavior. So Gandhi was puzzled at Europeans' violent behavior. Gandhi, sir, I was called to the bar in London and enrolled in the High Court of Chancery. I am therefore an attorney, and since I am in your eyes colored, I think we can deduce that there is at least one colored attorney in South Africa. Here meaning of deduce, guess. So Gandhi says that, sir, says to the conductor that he was called to the bar in London and enrolled in High Court of Chancery, and therefore there could not be any doubt that he was an attorney. Because European, smart bloody kafir, throw me out. He turns and walks out of the compartment. So here meaning of kafir, an insulting term used for any black African. So the European insulted Gandhi and says that to throw him out of the compartment. Conductor, you move your damn Sammy carcass back to third class or I will have to thrown off at the next station. So the conductor says that, asked him to get out of the first compartment and go to the third class compartment. He warned him that he would send him if he didn't go. Gandhi, anger, a touch of panic. So how was Gandhi here? He was anger, he was little bit angry and a touch of panic. I always go first class. I have travelled all over England. I have never. So he says that I always go only in the first class. I have travelled all over England also. So Gandhi says that he used to travel first class even in England. This scene took place in Harrodsburg station exterior night. Gandhi's luggage is thrown onto the station platform. A blast of steam from the engine. So Gandhi's luggage was thrown out from the compartment to the station platform. A blast of steam. You can see in front of the engine of the train. A steam of engine came out. A policeman and the conductor are pulling Gandhi from the first class car. So the policeman and the conductor both were pulling Gandhi from the first class car. Gandhi is clinging to the safety rails by the door, a briefcase clutched firmly in one hand. Here meaning of cling, catch hold of tightly. Meaning of clutch, catch hold of tightly. See children, you can see in the picture how Gandhi is catching tightly with the hand. And how is he tightly catching the suitcase and holding the railing of the train. So he is catching very tightly. The European cracks on Gandhi's hands with his fist, breaking Gandhi's grip, and the policeman and the conductor push him across the platform. So the European cracks on. So he hits on Gandhi's hands. So that Gandhi's grip was lost. It is ugly and demeaning. So it is looking ugly and demeaning. Meaning of demean, to do something that makes people have less respect for you. So it was night. Once again children, it was night at Maritzburg station. Gandhi's luggage was thrown on the platform. A policeman and a conductor pulled Gandhi from the first class. The European cracked on Gandhi's fist that was holding safety rails of the door. See, once again I am explaining you can see here. He is hitting here. Gandhi was catching hold of the railways. Here he is catching hold of the rails of the door. So this European hit on the hand of Gandhi so that he lost the grip. Disgustedly, Gandhi rights himself on the platform, picking up his briefcase, as face a mixture of rage, humiliation, impotence. Meaning of humiliation, insult. Meaning of impotence, inability. The conductor hurls Gandhi's book to his feet as the train starts to move. So finally, they both succeeded. Who is that? Conductor, European and the police. Both finally they succeeded in throwing Gandhi out. There was anger and insult on Gandhi's face. So finally the conductor threw the book at his feet and the train moved. Again, let us go to the story. Mahatma Gandhi got into a first class compartment as he bought a first class ticket. He was reading a book written by Leo Tolstoy. In the meantime, a European found Gandhi in the first class compartment. Black people have no right to travel in first class compartment, even though they have a first class ticket. The European and the conductor came to the compartment that Gandhi was traveling in. The conductor addressed Gandhi a coolie and asked why he was traveling in a first class compartment. Gandhi said he had a first class ticket. He also said that he was an attorney and as such sent for the ticket in post. Gandhi took out the card from his waistcoat and showed it to the conductor. The card had his details, his name and profession. He told the conductor that he was called to the bar in London and enrolled in High Court of Chancery, and therefore there could be no any doubt that he was an attorney. The conductor asked him to get out of the first class compartment and go to the third class compartment. It was night. The train reached Maritzburg station. Gandhi's luggage was thrown on the platform. A policeman and the conductor pulled Gandhi from the first class. Finally, they succeeded in throwing Gandhi out. There was anger and insult on Gandhi's face. The conductor threw the book at his feet and the train moved. Let us go through the glossary of the lesson. Meaning of sensuous, giving pleasure to senses. Meaning of intrigue, draw interest. Meaning of grin, smile widely. Meaning of insight, ability to understand. Meaning of glance, a quick look. Meaning of pivot, turn or balance. Meaning of sophomore, a student in the second year of the course. Meaning of abruptly, suddenly. Meaning of bass, South American term for boss. Meaning of stride, walk. Meaning of incredulous, unbelieving. Meaning of attorney, lawyer. Meaning of bluster, protest. Meaning of rebuff, rejection. Meaning of gesture, move hands or head to show what one wants. Meaning of nonplussed, puzzled. Meaning of colored, black. Meaning of belligerence, violent behavior. Meaning of deduce, guess. Meaning of kafir, an insulting term used for any black African. Meaning of cling, catch hold of tightly. Meaning of clutch, catch hold of tightly. Meaning of demean, to do something that makes people have less respect for you. Meaning of humiliation, insult. Meaning of impotence, inability. Meaning of porter, a person employed to carry luggage and other loads, especially in a railway station, airport, hotel or market. Coming to the question answers. Why was Gandhi puzzled when he heard that there was no colored attorneys in South Africa? Why was Gandhi puzzled here, children? Because the Europeans remarked that there were no colored attorneys in South Africa. It was insulting to Gandhi. He travelled widely in England and he always travelled first class. In spite of his possession of a ticket, he was not allowed to travel. He never knew that people were discriminated on the basis of color. So, Gandhi never knew that people are discriminated means insulted on the basis of color. How did the conductor address Gandhi, children? How did he call Gandhi? Yes, the conductor addressed Gandhi coolie, isn't it? He called him as a coolie when he first saw him in the first class compartment. The porter who was talking to Gandhi suddenly stopped talking without completing his sentence. What was he frightened of? If he had not seen the conductor, what would he have said? Isn't it? Suddenly, when the porter was talking to Gandhi, suddenly he stopped talking. What was the reason? Because he had seen conductor, he stopped. If he won't see the conductor, what would he have told to Gandhi? The porter stopped talking without completing the sentence as he saw the European and the conductor coming towards the compartment, isn't it? As the porter saw the European and the conductor, he stopped talking. He was afraid of being scolded by the conductor or the European. He was afraid because the conductor or the European will scold him. If they saw him talking to Gandhi, they might cancel his porter license. He thought. Why was Gandhi thrown out of the train? Why was he thrown out of the train, children? Gandhi was a colored man. Even though he was an attorney, he was not accepted to travel in first class compartment just because he was a colored man. Gandhi did not follow the instructions of the conductor and did not go out of the compartment. So, Gandhi was thrown out of the compartment because he was a colored man. So, why? He was thrown out of the compartment. If you were in Gandhi's place, how would you react? So, if you were in Gandhi's place, children, how would you react? Yes, if I were in Gandhiji's place, I would do just what Gandhi did. Because it is inhuman to send a man out of the compartment because of the color of the skin. So read the lesson and write the glossary and comprehension in your classwork and send it to my given WhatsApp number. Thank you.